She didn't know that a rude punishment from the gods was awaiting her. She had gone to bed, forgetting to reapply the calming potion on the stolen babies so they don't cry. Once upon a time, in a faraway village, 4 villages away from Calibri, there was a woman named Jemima. Jemima is a wicked friend and neighbor to Yetunde and her family. She had just stolen their twin and she's holding the babies to her bosom as she walks hurriedly into a dark, starless night. Jemima is grasping for breath as she slowly approached her old hut. She had already touched the babies with a calming potion Baba gave to her to keep the babies quiet so they don't attract attention when they were being stolen. She rushed into the hut and hid the babies in her room, covering them with an old wrapper. Jemima came out of her room and noticed her daughter Kehinde sitting on a stool by the corner of the hut, breastfeeding her baby. Kehinde looked up and noticed her mother's presence. "Welcome, Mama," she said. "You took long on your journey. You said you were going to find the cure to our poverty. Did you succeed?" "Yes, my dear, I did," Jemima answered with a smile. "I'm sorry I couldn't come sooner. I got your message that you delivered safely. I was very busy looking for the cure to our poverty, and I have found it," she said enthusiastically. "I'm so happy I'm a grandmother of 2 beautiful twin boys. How are my boys doing?" she asked. "They are good, Mama," Kehinde answered. "I just finished breastfeeding his brother and he's asleep in the hut. But Mama, what is this cure you said to have found?" "Don't worry yourself," Jemima replied her daughter with a smile. "Go in and rest." Meanwhile, a crowd had gathered in front of Yetunde's house as there was wailings and cryings. The villagers had gathered together to console both Fashola and his wife, telling them to take heart and be strong. In the midst of the tears and sorrow, a villager raised an alarm that Jemima, their neighbor, is nowhere to be found. They all searched, but she has truly disappeared. It is not a mere coincidence that Jemima disappeared the same night the twin went missing, another villager declared. "I believe she took them." The village elders gathered together and asked Yetunde if she knows the village Jemima, her neighbor, came from, so they could look for her. But she cried as she shook her head, telling them no. The village priest was summoned. He came and sat on the ground, throwing his cowries as he communicated with the gods. Afterwards, he turned to the family and said, "The gods are in control. These babies were dedicated to the gods for safekeeping, and the gods keep safe what is in their hands." "So what do we do now?" asked Fashola worriedly. "We wait for the gods," said the chief priest. "They will not fail us. In Jemima's heart, Jemima was humming and chanting melodiously to herself as she prepared her items to go meet Baba at the first cock crow. She arranged all her items into a calabash and decided to change the wrappers used to wrap the babies. She didn't want anyone to suspect while she carried the babies to Baba. She checked on her grandchildren while they laid and smiled at them. Your grandmother will soon be a rich woman. And with that smile on her face, she went to bed. She didn't know that a rude punishment from the gods was awaiting her. She had gone to bed forgetting to reapply the calming potion on the stolen babies so they don't cry, and had coincidentally wrapped the stolen babies with her daughter's favorite wrapper. While she was asleep, the stolen babies began to cry. Kehinde, with sleepy eyes, woke up thinking it was her own babies. She didn't know there was another set of twins in the hut, so she carried them to her own portion of the hut to nurse them. At the first cock crow, Jemima got up from her bed. She hurriedly carried her already prepared calabash and the set of twins and left to meet Baba. "Welcome, my daughter," Baba told her when she got to his shrine. Baba collected the calabash and did his incantations. Raising a dagger, he sacrificed the babies. Suddenly, there was a loud noise as a roaring thunder struck the shrine, and Baba screamed as he turned to Jemima fiercely. "How dare you disobey my instructions? I asked you to bring me the first issue of a barren woman, but you disobeyed me." Baba stretched out his hand towards Jemima, and before she could speak, she was struck by thunder. She immediately began to run wild, itching her body as she ran, shouting noisily. Meanwhile, a hunter in the forest had seen Jemima while she was sneaking into the bush with the babies. He Nicodemously followed her to her hut. When he heard the story of a missing neighbor and babies, he immediately went to Yetunde's house and told the family what he had seen. They all rushed together to Jemima's village, and on getting to Jemima's hut, they saw her bedridden with lumps all over her body. She confessed all her wicked deeds and how the gods punished her into killing her grandchildren in place of Yetunde's children. She turned to Yetunde as she begged for forgiveness. While she was still begging, she stopped breathing. Her daughter shouted and cried. Not only had she lost her babies, she had also lost her mother. Yetunde and her husband carried their babies home, singing praises to the gods and thanking the villagers for their support and kindness. The story of Jemima, the wicked neighbor, became a cautionary tale in Calibri village and its surroundings, warning everyone to learn to be contented with what they have and to be careful of the people they trust, and to know that not every smile is from the heart.